Hey friends, hey friends, hey friends, hey friends, hey friends. So welcome back to my channel. Thank you for all the feedback. Thank you for subscribing. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this with at least 5 of your friends. And make sure you are following me on all outlets and platforms. So I'm doing a follow-up video. Because one of my subscribers named Priscilla Borco, I think it is. And I was talking about the DOE, contracting, getting jobs, and getting your vendor's number. So if you're in New York and you are a business owner and you have a business, you have products or services that you want to get into the school system, I talked about, how to do that. And I talked about how to get a vendor's number, how to go about getting a vendor's number. But she asked the question of, how submitting invoices. So being that it was like my first time it was my first time doing submitting vendors invoices. So each borough has their own vendor hotline. So Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, they all got their own. So you have to have an email to email your invoices, okay? So how the invoice thing works, from my experience, so the school approves your time. So let's just say you do 4 weeks. Every week, your school would have to approve the time. Or if you, do 4 weeks, they approve it after. So the school will do an approval. So what the school does is the school sends, right, the PO, right, which is the purchase order. They send the PO to the vendor hotline, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, whatever, email it to them, right? But you as the vendor also have to email an invoice. So, this is from my experience. You have to email an invoice to the people, right? So once you email the invoice, it's kind of like they're paying your invoice. Even though it's already approved, it's like they're going to pay your invoice. So the school approves it. The school says, okay, well, Tanisha, she did this job on this dates. And then you would have to send an invoice saying what job you did and what dates you completed, because in the system they already see that you was approved. They already see how much money you're gonna get. They already see all that. Like once the purchase order is approved, that's it. The money is moved and allocated, and they have something called I forgot the name of it, but it's a system in New York that the vendors use. So now you could be able to see it inside of of your portal. So once it gets approved, it's going to be in your portal and it's going to be pending. Once you send the invoice, you got to now send a invoice. All right. You send proposals to the principals. The principal approved it. Then it goes to their business manager. The business manager approves it, sends it to the vendor hotline. Then the vendor itself, you got to send an invoice with your dates, the things you did. So once you do that, it may take a week, 2 weeks, tops, to be able to get paid. Now, if you're new into the system, it may take a little bit longer. But if you're already getting paid with the DOE, like it's going to take you a week or two. And what I did was direct deposit. So the money gets directly deposited. But what I like about the system that they have is once you get approved, it now moves up the ladder. So it says pending, then it says approved for services, and then it also says like deposit. So it's a good system, I think. But, make sure you also are staying on top of it. Because in New York, there's a lot of vendors. There's a lot of people that are vending in New York. There's a lot of people that are providing services to the DOE, and you want to make sure that they are seeing, right, your invoices, okay? So once the school approves it, you contact the school, the business manager. Now, here's the thing. The principal is not really involved in that process. The principal is only involved in the approving of the proposal. So if you send a proposal, the principal approves it, they send it right to their business manager, right? After that, it's out of the principal's hands. The principal ain't got nothing to do with the money part or whatever. They just approving it, right? So now the business manager sends it off, and you have to send an invoice to make sure you're good. So you got to follow up. You can call them, you can email them. I was emailing the lady, and I actually called the lady, and that's how I actually, got paid, right away. So it's a process. But once you go through the process one time, and you plan on working with the DOE for years to come, now you know what the what the process is. So it's not hard. It's very streamlined. But make sure you stay on top of it. Again, there are so many vendors with the DOE. Okay, there's so many vendors with the DOE. I've heard people saying, "Oh, they took 3 months. Oh, they took, 4 months. Oh, they took almost a month to get me paid." Everybody's different. Everybody's different. But with the DOE, it's all about paper trailing, right? You got to have the paper trail. Although the school, the business manager will send the invoice or the approved hours to the vending hotline, you still got to create an invoice because it's like they're paying the invoice, right? Because they got to have all of this stuff, right? Because remember, this is like a write-off for them. The Board of Ed is like a nonprofit, right? So it's like they have this as, write-off, and then you just keep your stuff and, you pay your taxes, later, because really as a DOE business, you're a business, right? So you should have your own LLC. You should have your own, a S Corp or C Corp. And, you should have your MWBE too. Your MBE, which is, for everybody, and WMBE is for women. So that's also better because one of my principals, she asked me, she said, "Oh, do you have your MWB?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Okay, that's even better." So the more certifications that you have is the better, because the city only want to do city. Okay. The city only wants to do business with legit businesses. Schools only want to do business with legit businesses. They don't want to do business with, "Oh, you just thought of a service." No. Are you vetted? Because getting your MWBE is getting vetted. Having your DOE vendor's license is getting vetted. They literally are going through your business to make sure you are a legit business. So hope this helps for some of you guys, that were thinking about being a DOE vendor. Hopefully this helps for Priscilla, one of my subscribers that asked the question. So guys, the thing is, we need more Black people providing services for these children in New York. It's like 1 million, 2 million. I don't even know how many kids. It's over 1 million kids in New York City public school system. And it's not enough of us teaching or providing products and services for them so that they can, be inspired and be empowered to see that, you know what? If that person can do it, I can do it too. So it's August. August is Black Business Month. Make sure you support a Black business or a couple of Black businesses. I'm a Black business. You can actually get my book on Amazon. So click the link, below, Tanisha Adjo. You can search it on Amazon. Follow my author's profile, because I will be, coming out with more books, probably in the future. So the time is now, friends. The time is now. See you guys soon. Peace.